What's up, my crypto legends? Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Let's analyze the situation. Is Bitcoin breaking down, or are we going to manage to hold this range? We just tested below the lows that we did create yesterday, slightly below $19,200. We're going to analyze this situation. Is this going to be a successful breakout, guys? We're going to analyze the situation right now. What are the most important levels? There is a high possibility in Bitcoin actually getting a bounce from this range. If we take a look at the higher lows from this one to this one, it does look like we have broken a little bit of a structure right there. But if we do see the scenario here from the lows of Wednesday here in the 22nd of September, and also right over here 28th of September, we are still kind of holding a little bit of structure here by a thread. Are we going to manage to hold structure here? No major big breakdown just yet. I am in a slight long position here because we have created a swing failure. The long that I was in yesterday got stopped out at break even at this range here. We talked about this on the live stream, and just early this morning we did have the drop down here. We tested below this low over here and just got a wick. So this is not a massive big breakdown. This is actually a potential long opportunity. You need to be fast in this position, of course, because we might be facing some resistance here at 19,340. Why 19,340? Well, this is the value area low from this trading range. As you can see here, we are still holding some structure here of higher lows. Where would I start getting worried? Well, all the way down here at an $18,800 range, where we are breaking structure, we are testing the lows, we're breaking below this range, then this will be looking pretty bearish till we find our next big major support. For the moment, we are holding the range. This is no successful breakout. I am in a hedge, small long position, of course, from my short position right at this level, looking for higher levels. And of course, we do see, we're still holding a tiny position from this short position just in case we go lower, but in a tiny, hedge long position just in case we do go to higher levels. We are pumping right now at this moment. S&P 500 is managing to kind of pump, almost claiming the highs here. As you can see on the chart, we kind of bottomed out here locally. We could get a leg up. We need to analyze the DXY, because DXY is potentially forming a kind of ascending wedge scenario inside of this ascending channel, right? As you know, we are creating these higher lows this higher highs every single time, not even testing the resistance zone. But inside of this channel, we can see that we are forming a kind of an ascending wedge scenario right over here, getting tighter and tighter. Usually ascending wedge scenarios are bearish. Are we going to manage to hit resistance at this zone and have a corrective move? This is the only kind of thing that could save Bitcoin to have a larger pump. So we can analyze the situation right over here. Bitcoin is getting a pump into that major zone over here of resistance, the value area low from the trading range. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. Yeah, this is basically why this was a good long scenario, and obviously taking profits at this zone. If you were to get into a swing failure pattern, guys, then this is the moment to protect position and potentially take some profits. I'm just going to protect position, of course, as I am in that other short position. And, I do believe so that, this could pump to the upside as the S&P 500 is in, a pretty nice position at this moment, just about to break from this last lower high. If it managed to get above this last lower high in the next couple of hours, then we could see a little bit of more bullish momentum, of course. So let's analyze the situation right over here. I'm going to go quickly through the comment section. Just give me 1 second, guys. Going to go quickly through the comment section and say hello to the community. And we're going to analyze the situation. Now Bitcoin is facing that resistance zone, as you can see right there. So I entered this swing failure pattern right over here at this range. It was a little bit late. The ideal entry would have been, just at this level, of course. All right. If we're looking at this swing failure, we test the lows. As you can see, you got a beautiful entry right there, really extremely low. And, you could aim to take profits when you're getting to the value area high range. We didn't even hit the value area from this trading zone. But I entered a little late, got stopped out on this wick down on the live stream and said, look, I am looking for lower. If we come down to retest this low range, 618 levels, and have a consolidation or even a swing failure pattern, a failed breakdown from the lows, this is when I will be looking for a re-entry of a long position, of course. So this is what I've done right now, just a few minutes ago here before entering the live stream. We got that swing failure from this low and, managed to enter here just when we were slightly closing above the low here that we did create yesterday, round about $19,187. So right now this is happening. So what is happening exactly at this moment is that we are hitting that value area low from this trading zone where we could get massive rejection, guys. If we do take a look at volume, we do have the volume spikes. As you can see, spike in, red volume right there from this low at the value area low range. We got another breakdown here with some pretty intense volume. The rejection here is very, very highly probable. Okay, so, this is actually, a pretty good shorting scenario, not going to lie. This is actually a shorting scenario at this moment. I'm not going to short because I'm already in that short position from this range, but we are hitting big resistance zones at this moment here at 19,340. If you are longing from this range, I'm just going to protect position and, just in case we do manage to create a higher low and maybe attempt to break this high. But overall, if you're longing from here, this is a take profit zone. And of course it's a take profit zone, it's also a potential scalp short scenario with a stop loss here below the point of control, middle of the range, where it's likely not to be claimed just yet. Looking for those scalping scenarios. If we do start having that leg down, of course, I would be looking to protect position and take profits at the 618 from this pump right over here. So yeah, which would be around about the $19,200 range. Likely to get that rejection in the next coming minutes as we speak. Let's go through the comment section, guys, right away, and we can take a look at some altcoins. Overall, DXY, it's still, looking like a beast, not going to lie, but it's forming a very, very tight trading range here, with like an ascending wedge in this uptrend. So it looks like that we are potentially getting exhausted here on the DXY, and we could see a correction. What happens if the DXY has a corrective move? Well, of course, this could be fuel for Bitcoin for this range here to finally, bottom out at this level and have a little bit more of an uptrend. So yeah, like I said, if we could zoom out here on Bitcoin, funny enough, it is still holding structure. It is still holding kind of structure here, just connected the ultimate low here created in September. This was the 22nd of September, higher low right there. These two, we just kind of wicked at that level. There is a possibility in holding the range, especially after creating this swing failure pattern, okay? Right over there, just testing the lows, no major big breakdown. So we're just hovering at the range. Possibility in getting a bigger relief rally is possible, guys. If you're looking for short-term scalps, there is that potential short quickly to 19,200 range, and then maybe we are going to create a higher low. If we do take a look at the lower time frames, such as the 5 minute, the possibility in having that corrective move and a higher low right there is very, very possible, okay? Very, very, very possible. No big major breakouts from these lows. Just testing, getting those early long positions liquidated or, stopped out, and until you finally have that leg up. Now, this is the kind of scenario that we are looking for here. There's a potential short-term scalp here to the downside because we're hitting big major resistance zone right now at this moment. So yeah, just eyeing this scenario right now at this moment. Big resistance, value area low from the trading range that we have been for the last couple of days. 3 days approximately. Today's the 10th of October. Right now, just facing resistance as we have had this move down with high volume. Looking at the lower time frames, should be getting rejected. If we have another leg up, it is likely to get rejected. Of course, the higher we go, the better to place a stop loss, right? So we do get that leg up here potentially to 19,350 and 60. It is a potential scalping scenario, okay? It's not a huge risk to reward, but there is high probability. So if it does hit 19,350, 360, you are looking to get that rejection here and come down at least to the 618 from this drop, 618 and potentially the lows. So yeah, let's go through the comment section right away, guys. Just looking for these scalping scenarios. Longing scenario, of course, from this swing failure right now, from that long. If you did not long, obviously this is not a longing range. This would be a shorting range as we speak, as we are hitting resistance at this moment. Let me go quickly through the comment section, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button. We're getting a little bit of that volatility. I was doing the analysis while we were having the drop here, and start just going live right now as we have this little bit of volatility at a critical range. Will Bitcoin finally break down? It is holding pretty nicely. S&P 500 is at a resistance level at this moment. If it does manage to get above here, there's 3,640 points, then it's going to be looking pretty good for the next coming hours. We could see, a little bit of momentum to the upside, which will, and obviously if we do see the DXY, topping out here a little bit, it's in a very, aggressive ascending wedge scenario, getting tight, losing momentum by the looks of things, we could see that corrective move potentially, in between today and tomorrow, which would be good for Bitcoin to hold this major range, okay? Let's see what happens. Hidden Bullish Divergent, Beagle Inus, Naked Trader, Seb, thank you for joining. Racing Pixel, you guys rock. Thank you very much for joining live stream. Incredible supporters, my moderators, as always. Let's go through right away the comment section. What is your opinion on the CVD indicator? I saw some very good traders using it. Yeah, it's very, very good for divergence, and I think it's relatively good. I use it sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but it's just a little bit of too much information for me right now with what I'm using. But it is pretty good. CVD is a pretty good indicator. Of course it is. German, how are you doing? Good morning, Mr. Half Infinite. Hey, Faris, number 8 like. Thank you very much, Faris. Racing Pixel Legend, thank you for joining. Greetings from Pakistan, bro. Obaid, how are you? Good morning, Habibi. I'm Olympic. Hello, Asamita. Seems like we got a bounce from the parallel channel support. If the 4 hour becomes a wick, that's for sure. At this moment, it is just there. These are not successful breakouts, guys. We know this. We talked about this yesterday. If we wick below the range and have a nice bounce and close above it on the 1 hourly, especially getting support, this is no successful breakout. Of course, you can see that we're breaking down here from this low. Is it continuing to the downside? No, it's not. The same scenario is happening right now. We've just broke down below this range, had a massive wick to the upside. So it's not, swing failure. This is no successful breakdown. No way I would be looking for shorts at this level. Only scalping short scenarios, because we could come down and claim the 618 or potentially the lows. It is very, very possible. So I would be looking, that would be the only short, of course, after this major bounce hitting this resistance zone with a relatively tight stop loss above the point of control here, or slightly at the highs here. Because if we do claim these highs, it's going to be looking pretty bullish. Of course, so I would just have, that stop loss at this high, entry at the highest point possible. Of course, if you start hitting these highs, it's going to be looking pretty bullish, because we will be claiming here the value area low and potentially, claiming this trading zone again. And obviously, this will be looking bullish. So where could we hit in the next coming hours? Of course, the value area high range from this trading zone that we have been for the last 3-4 days. Okay, so this is why accept a small loss if it is claimed in the next coming minutes. All right, highest level possible, because if we start hitting this range, it is the point of control. It will be a little bit of resistance, but I do see us finding strength here and potentially going to higher levels. So yeah, that's my point of view here, looking at the lower time frames. Massive resistance at this moment. That corrective move potentially to 19,200, 250 is just very, very likely at this moment as we speak. Of course, what we need to do is pay attention to the stock market, guys. Stock market right now, S&P 500 is just about hitting resistance zone, right? It is hitting a massive consolidation level, just hitting the highs. Is it going to fail the breakout? If it starts breaking up, it's going to be looking pretty bullish. It will be looking pretty bullish. We could have some more momentum during today to the upside, potentially to hit 3,680, 3,690, maybe 3,700 points. So yeah, it looks like it wants to have a little bit of a rally movement, especially looking at the DXY. Like I said, it looks like it is getting a little bit exhausted here with this uptrend, and that corrective move is very, very possible. Something that we need to pay attention. Let's take a look at the comment section right away. Squash, how are you doing? Squash Head, thank you for joining. Ariel, 2020 rise, point of control, holding very well. No brainer to sell here. Hi Andy from Slovakia. Martin, hello. Wes D from Philippines. Axel, how are you? BTC to 30k by next week, says Pimpy Gimme. Woo! I mean, I need to buy some Bitcoin today. I might buy it today or later or tomorrow, but below $20,000, I am going to buy 2k this week. Going to buy 2,000 USDT worth of Bitcoin today as we are below $20,000. Mr. Half Infinite, how are you? Rodrigo, Morning, hey Mohammed, how are you doing, brother? I'm doing good. Retail is eaten by Wall Street and sharks. Many longs drop many shorts. Yes, sir, you got that right. We need to try and learn the manipulation. Try and go with the whales, not with the retailers, just like you and me. We're going to get that pumpy action, says Asameta. Maybe, you know, so far it ain't looking bad. It ain't looking bad here. We know we at support. We're still at a support range, okay? We are creating, you know, not successful breakdowns. We're not creating successful breakdowns. We're just wicking below the lows here, you know, meaning that there's not massive strength. The bulls are trying to defend this range. So yeah, it looks like we could hold this range on Bitcoin. I want to stay invested in Bitcoin for a long time, says Harvester Beats. When should I buy more? Hey, I am buying every week, but I'm buying aggressively while we're going down, and I'm not buying that aggressively if we are going up. My strategy, I said last week, was if Bitcoin is below $20,000, I will be buying $2,000 every single week, guys. I will be doing this live. I haven't transferred my USDT to an exchange, but I'll probably do it live, you know, just to say, you know, to show you that I am buying at these levels. You know, the question is, you know, like you said, when should I buy some more? You know, my question is not that. My question is, you know, as long as we're below $20,000, I am buying every week. If we are above $20,000, I will be buying also every week, but not as much. You know, I'm planning to get, you know, maybe $1,000 a week or so. If we're below 20,000, of course, I am more aggressive with my dollar cost averaging, you know, and you might think to yourself, you know, how come you're buying at these, you know, if we are going to go down to 12K, you know, are we going to go down to 12K? Is Bitcoin going to go down to 10K? There's a lot of people that are pretty sure about that. You know, I am not that sure. I'm not that sure. If we go down to 10K, I will still have some dollars on the sidelines to buy some more. But yeah, it's just going to be some rough years, guys. It's going to be a rough couple of years, potentially, maybe 1 year, maybe 2. Will be relatively rough. I took profit at that level, says Dart Ouija. Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you did long this failed breakdown, you know, this is a take profit zone, of course. You know, you know, these swing failure patterns, as soon as we close above, or you just got a couple of minutes to close at that range, you know, you want to enter that trade, just like we did right over here, right? We got the lows, claimed the lows, just a few minutes before the close. You can enter a long position here with your stop loss below the wick. I mean, this is a relatively one-to-one position, you know, unless you do start breaking resistance. But, you know, of course, one-to-one, you got high probability in claiming this strong level where we are getting a reaction right now as we speak. So if you're longing from this low range, you know, this is, you know, a must take profit and protect position, guys. Even though this is a one-to-one risk to reward, you know, you still have high probability on that bounce because you're confirming that this is a failed breakdown. You still kind of holding higher low structure here. If we do take a look at September, you know, just connecting this trend line, you know, higher lows, higher low, higher low, you are still technically creating a higher low. So on that quick swing failure for that little scalp position, it's a must take profit, protect position, and maybe enter a short, scalp, you know, hedge position, right? So if you do get that leg up and get stopped out, you at least can hold some position here from this long, right? Hold that long, enter a short because you're at resistance. If that short does get stopped out, you at least got this long, you know, back in that short position, always obviously risking the same, right? If you're hedging, you want to risk the same. You're not going to get into a short position, you know, and a long, you know, and you're risking more on the short, risking less, you know, say you risk $500 here and you risk $1,000 on this short. And of course, you know, they need to be the same. If you're hedging, They need to be the same amount. If not, it doesn't make any sense to hedge, because you will get stopped out on one of them, and it might be the larger position. The position size needs to be the same. Let's take a look. I feel like TA doesn't apply to the dollar. I mean, it kind of does and doesn't. I mean, it's not a direct traded market. Of course it's not, but, charts are charts, right? And all depending on what kind of TA you do. Of course, you don't have volume on the dollar. So this is the thing, I like to take a look at volume on Bitcoin, on the moves, see where the power is. And on the DXY, you don't have volume because it's not a direct traded asset. But it is a chart. At the end of the day, it's still a chart. And, when a chart is trending up, it has power to continue that uptrend. And, charts are charts, no matter what asset it is. Chart is chart, if it's going up and creating higher lows, hey, it's in an uptrend, right? If it's creating lower highs, it's in a downtrend. So it does apply to any chart. Technical analysis does apply on any chart. It all depends on what kind of indicators you use. Some indicators will not be applied, but in a downtrend, you're in a downtrend here, respecting the resistance from lower highs and the support from lower lows. And as soon as you break the resistance from this downtrend, of course you have a high probability. Charts are charts, and patterns are patterns. So I think there is a high probability that we could get a major correction on the DXY. It looks like it is getting a little bit squeezed here on this uptrend, and we could see a corrective move. We could get another leg up here, but start hitting resistance right there, and then get that breakdown from this ascending wedge scenario. Maybe this is only going to be a short-term correction, just getting ready for another leg up. So, but overall, it does look like we hit it. It's getting a little bit exhausted right there as we speak. The ascending parallel channel for Bitcoin looks more valid now, Andy, says Asameta. Yeah, absolutely. At least with the higher lows, right? Looking at the higher lows, connecting the ultimate low here from September on the 22nd, just hitting that level. We can see that we're probably going to get that corrective move now as we speak from this level, guys. We're having that reaction, so it looks like it is time for that corrective move, potentially to 19,200, guys. Okay, thanks. I buy this week more, says Harvester Beats. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I'm buying every week, for my hodling portfolio. Despite the price action. I mean, if it goes lower, I want to be more aggressive with my buys. If it goes higher, I'm not that interested in putting too much. Let's take a look. BTC looks like it has bullish divergence on the 4 hourly. Let's take a look at this here for crypto's life. Took a short on sushi last night too. Absolutely phenomenal. Grant Stork. Let's take a look. Sushi. What did we talk about sushi yesterday? Because I remember we did have a look on sushi. Okay, because it is at resistance. Yeah, if you're in a short on sushi, we did talk about the possibility in having a tight stop loss here from a short position. It is at resistance, and you could see a corrective move. There's only one thing, of course, that doesn't look extremely bearish, and of course is this right over here. That potential Adam and Eve scenario. So stay cautious, guys. Ideal short, of course, would have been right there at the 618 from this drop, and also hitting that resistance level. First bounce to claim the lows. This is the ideal short, the first